Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be diving into money,
Ooh, fun.
like what it is, how it works, why it even matters to us.
Yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah, I've got this article here. It's like it breaks down like all the fundamentals of money,
Right.
and I think there are going to be some really surprising insights in here for people.
Cool.
So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of money with me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I think it's a topic that, it impacts all of us every day,
Right.
but it can feel really mysterious. And honestly, there are a lot of misconceptions around money.
Yeah.
So understanding, money, its history, how it works,
Mm-hmm.
it's really essential for making good decisions
Yeah.
in all areas of your life.
Right. Yeah.
Like how you manage your personal finances, but even evaluating new technologies like Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one of the first things that really jumped out at me when I was reading this article
Okay.
was this idea that money, it doesn't actually need to be backed by something tangible
Okay.
like gold.
Right.
And that really challenged my assumptions.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah, it's a super common misconception.
Yeah, right.
But historically, that's not how money evolved.
Yeah.
Um, you can think of it this way: money is essentially the most saleable good.
Okay.
It's whatever people in the society will readily accept in exchange
Yes.
for other goods and services.
Gotcha. So it's more about what's convenient and accepted
Yes.
within a
Yeah.
certain system, not necessarily about having inherent value tied to
Yeah, you got it.
gold or
And
whatever.
it's about what works in that moment in that society.
Okay.
So to illustrate this, imagine trying to trade a cow for a pair of shoes.
Okay.
Right? You would have to find a shoemaker who also needed a cow at that exact same time.
Right. Yeah. That's
Money solves that problem.
It's like a universal
It is.
trading language.
Exactly.
It simplifies everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're not relying on gold or whatever, how do we get to the money that we use today?
Right.
Dollars, euros.
Yeah. Well, it's been a fascinating journey.
Okay.
So let's take a quick trip through the history of money
Okay.
to see how it actually evolved.
I like it.
So we start, of course, with barter systems,
Okay.
which work fine in small communities.
Right.
But then as societies get more complex, it
just breaks down.
breaks down.
Yeah, because trying to barter for everything you need would be
Oh my gosh, a nightmare.
impossible.
Yeah, totally inefficient.
Yeah.
So that inefficiency, it naturally leads societies to converge on a single good
Okay.
that's widely accepted that has value.
Okay.
And this could be anything from salt to shells
Okay.
to even those giant stone discs
Oh, yeah.
they used on the island of Yap.
The Yap stones. Okay, yeah. This is where it gets really interesting for me because they were huge.
Huge.
Difficult to move.
Right.
So clearly it wasn't about their practicality
No,
as a form of payment.
no, it was all about their agreed upon value
Okay.
and the social system built around them. So think of it like a public ledger.
Okay.
Everyone in the community knew who owned which stone,
Right.
even if that stone never moved
Wow.
in generations.
That's so
So
interesting.
the money wasn't really the stone itself.
Mm.
It was the shared understanding of its value within that culture.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so moving along our timeline,
Yeah?
how do we go from Yap stones and shells
Right.
to gold?
Yeah, well, gold emerged because of its unique properties.
Yeah.
So it's durable,
Mm.
it's divisible,
Okay.
it's relatively scarce,
Right.
and it has inherent value across different cultures.
Gotcha.
These qualities made it a natural choice for a global monetary system.
Okay, but even gold wasn't the end of the story.
Nope. Right.
Eventually we shifted to paper money,
Who did?
which initially represented gold,
Hey.
but then became what we know as fiat currency.
Exactly.
So this is where we get to the money that we use today.
You got it.
Dollars, euros.
Yep.
All
This shift to fiat currency
Mm.
is crucial for understanding how money works in our modern world.
Okay.
It's no longer tied to a physical commodity
Like gold.
like gold. Its value is determined by government decree
Okay.
and, more importantly, by our collective trust in that system.
So essentially, our dollars work because we all agree they do.
Exactly.
Not because they're backed by
Not because of a secret vault of gold.
some secret vault of gold somewhere.
That's the key takeaway here.
Yeah.
Fiat currency relies on a shared belief in its value,
Okay.
which might sound strange at first, but think about it.
Yeah.
If everyone suddenly stopped accepting dollars,
Right.
they would become worthless pieces of paper.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
It really makes you realize that, like, money is at its core
Yeah.
a social agreement.
It is a social agreement.
But doesn't that put a lot of power in the hands of governments?
It does.
Couldn't they just print tons of money
Yeah.
and devalue what's already in circulation?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
And it highlights why, like, responsible monetary policy is so crucial.
Right.
Printing too much money can lead to inflation,
Okay.
where prices increase and your purchasing power decreases.
Hmm.
So governments and central banks,
Okay.
they have this delicate balancing act
Right.
to maintain economic stability.
So it's not just about, like, having money. It's
Right.
about, like, managing its value
Yes.
and ensuring trust within the entire system.
That's exactly right.
Okay. And this brings us to, like, another
Yes,
turning point, I feel like, in the history of money.
for sure.
The emergence of cryptocurrency.
Right.
Like Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's fascinating
Yeah.
because Bitcoin was designed to function as money
Right.
without any backing from
Yeah.
a government or a physical commodity.
That really challenges, like, the traditional idea
It does.
of what money is and how it works.
For sure.
So what makes something like Bitcoin potentially viable as money?
Right.
Like, what gives it value
Okay.
if it's not tied to gold or a government decree?
Yeah, great question. It comes back to that idea of like widespread acceptance.
Okay.
Remember, money is essentially a social agreement.
Right.
So if enough people believe something has value
Mm-hmm.
and are willing to use it as like a medium of exchange,
Okay.
then it can effectively function as money.
So for Bitcoin to, like, really take off,
Yeah,
it needs to be embraced by a large enough group of people
it does.
who are willing to use it for, like, everyday transactions, just like we use dollars or euros.
Exactly. It's a gradual process.
Okay.
And we've seen this throughout history.
All right.
Like as different forms of money have emerged and gained acceptance.
Okay.
Think about the early days of paper money.
Right.
People were skeptical at first,
Yeah.
but as its use became more widespread,
Right.
that skepticism faded.
Speaking of modern money,
Yeah.
this whole conversation about the history of money and the emergence of cryptocurrencies,
Yeah.
it, like, makes you think about the money we use every day, you know?
Absolutely.
The dollars, the euros in our wallets.
Yeah.
How does all of this connect to our personal experiences with money?
Okay, so let's circle back to that concept of fiat currency.
Okay.
The US dollar, the euro.
Mm-hmm.
These currencies have value because governments declare them as legal tender.
Right.
It's a system built on trust and widespread acceptance.
Gotcha. But isn't the value of gold, like, tied to its scarcity?
Okay.
Couldn't the same be said about Bitcoin, even though it's not a
Yeah.
physical commodity?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
You've hit on one of the key debates
Okay.
surrounding Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
While they're not tied to a physical commodity like gold,
Right.
their value is often linked to their limited supply.
Okay.
For example, the total number of Bitcoins that will ever exist
Right.
is capped at 21 million.
Wow. Okay.
This scarcity, combined with growing demand,
Yeah.
contributes to its value.
That makes sense, but it also seems like there's a lot of volatility with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, its price goes up and down dramatically.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really happen with traditional currencies like the dollar.
Right.
So what's up with that?
Yeah, you're right that volatility is a key difference
Okay.
between cryptocurrencies and traditional fiat currencies.
Okay.
Part of that volatility stems from the fact
Mm-hmm.
that the cryptocurrency market is still relatively young
Right.
and less regulated.
Okay.
There are also like external factors,
Okay.
like news events,
Yeah.
technological advancements,
Right.
and even social media trends that can influence the price.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a wild west out there
Yeah, kind of.
in the crypto world.
Yeah, for sure.
But stepping back for a moment,
Okay.
it seems like the very definition of money is, like, constantly evolving.
It is.
Right. We went from tangible goods to gold to paper money.
Right.
And now we have these digital currencies like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
What's next?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I think the future of money is likely to be shaped
Okay.
by a combination of factors.
Okay.
Technological advancements, changing social attitudes,
Okay.
and even environmental concerns.
Environmental concerns. How does that play into money?
Well, think about the energy consumption
Right.
associated with mining Bitcoin, for example.
Okay.
As we become more aware of our environmental footprint,
Mm-hmm.
there's a growing interest in developing more sustainable forms of money.
Okay.
We're already seeing this with the rise of like green cryptocurrencies
Okay.
that use more energy efficient methods.
Gotcha.
for transaction verification.
So it's not just about functionality and efficiency.
Yep.
It's also about aligning our financial systems with our values.
Exactly. And as technology continues to advance,
Yeah.
we can expect even more innovative forms of money to emerge.
Okay.
Perhaps we'll see wider adoption of central bank digital currencies,
Okay.
or CBDCs,
Okay.
which are essentially digital versions of a country's fiat currency,
Okay.
issued and regulated by its central bank.
Gotcha.
Or maybe we'll see the rise of community currencies, designed to promote local economic development.
Interesting.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, this has been incredibly eye-opening.
It is a fascinating topic.
We've gone from bartering
We have
to like contemplating the future of money in like a digital interconnected world.
It's crazy.
But with all these changes and innovations,
Yeah.
what does this mean for like us,
Right.
the everyday people who use money to like
Yeah, to live our lives.
buy groceries, pay rent,
Right.
and maybe even invest in the next big thing?
Yeah. What are the key takeaways here?
Yeah, what key takeaways should we be thinking about?
I think the biggest takeaway is that understanding the fundamentals of money
Yeah,
is more important than ever.
right.
We need to be informed consumers,
Okay.
critical thinkers,
Mm,
and adaptable to change
right.
because the financial landscape is constantly shifting.
Yeah.
This means like paying attention to new developments.
Okay.
In the world of finance,
Mhm.
doing your research before making investment decisions, and understanding the potential risks and rewards
Mhm.
associated with different forms of money.
It also sounds like we shouldn't be afraid to like question assumptions.
No, absolutely not.
Just because something has always been done a certain way
Right.
doesn't mean it's the best or only way,
Nope.
especially when it comes to money.
Especially when it comes to money. We've seen that throughout history.
Right, exactly. That's a really good point. It makes you wonder like what the future holds for money. Any
Right.
predictions?
Well, I'm no fortune teller, but
Okay.
if we look at like the big picture, I think we're going to continue to see a blurring of the lines between like traditional currencies and digital assets.
Okay.
We might see like more integration of blockchain technology into existing financial systems
Okay.
and the rise of decentralized finance, or DeFi,
DeFi. Okay.
which uses blockchain to create financial systems that like operate independently of traditional institutions.
So it's not just about what we use as money.
Right.
It's how we use it and the systems we build around it.
That's exactly right. And that's what makes this such an exciting time to be thinking about money.
Right.
We have the opportunity to create financial systems that are more inclusive,
Yeah.
more transparent, and more equitable.
Okay.
We can leverage technology to empower individuals,
Right.
promote financial literacy, and create a more sustainable economic future.
That's a powerful vision, and it all circles back to that core idea.
It does.
Money is a social agreement.
It is.
It's up to us to decide
Right.
what kind of future we want to create with it.
I couldn't have said it better myself as we wrap up our deep dive
Yeah.
into the world of money.
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Yeah.
Don't just accept the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep learning.
Right.
The future of money is in our hands.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into like the heart of money.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep diving deep.